Welcome to Upfront with Dr. Terranova. Today I am joined by Mr. Ron Hatter, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, and we would like to present to you the status of our 2013-14 school budget. As you know, we are in the budget development process, and we hope to have our budget process concluded within the next 6 weeks or so, or about mid-April. There are a number of elements to a budget as we go through the development of our budget with our administration, our staff, and our Board of Education. First, we have our educational programs, which include curriculum and instruction, special education and pupil personnel services, extracurricular activities, and athletics. We also employ certificated and non-instructional staff, and we go through an exhaustive staffing analysis to ensure that we have the proper number of staff members for the number of students that we teach. We have an excellent technology program. We have an operations and maintenance department, which includes, of course, our facilities. We have a transportation program. We have debt service as an item in our budget. And we also must be mindful of our state and federal mandates. Mr. Hatter, welcome.
Thank you.
Could you give us an indication of how well we are doing with our academic programs and how we measure the success of our children, because all of that has to do with maintaining the best high-quality budget we possibly can.
Absolutely. As you know, we have an outstanding instructional program in the Eastchester School District. It's rigorous, and it gives students the opportunity to challenge themselves to the greatest extent possible. We offer a wide offering of course electives at the secondary level. We have actually recently added electives in science. We've modified our technology program at the middle school to include a course in digital citizenry. We also have a wonderful model of support to ensure that students are learning and meeting their potential. We have a wide offering of advanced placement courses, honors programs, and college partnerships that offer college credit to our high school seniors. Now, the proof of the effectiveness of our programs are in the results on state and national assessments. On the 2012 3 through 8 New York State Education Department assessments in math and English language arts, Eastchester scored in the top 5% of New York State. And that, for our viewing audience, if we looked at our mean scale scores on the 3 through 8 math and ELA assessments and just commingle them, you'd find that Eastchester rose to the top 5% in our state. Also, on the algebra regents exams and earth science regents exams offered at our middle school, we have a 100% pass rate. We also have pass rates at the high school that have never been higher than they were in the 2011-12 school year. For our viewing audience, that is, if we took a look at all of our courses on every level in every subject area, students achieving passing grades at the end of the year has never been higher. If we look at our regents exams offered at the secondary level, specifically at the high school level, if we look at our biology, our geometry, algebra, algebra 2 trigonometry, our chemistry regents exam, our physics regents exam, we had over 90% of our students achieving proficiency levels. That is a remarkable number. Also, 2012 marked our highest percentage of students graduating with an advanced regents diploma or a regular regents diploma. And for the 7th consecutive year, 90% of our graduates pursued a college education. And then finally, just one other very interesting statistic that comes out of our high school, nearly half of all 2012 graduates achieved a 3 or higher on at least one AP exam. So not only are we offering the AP exams and courses to our students, we have so many students taking advantage of the opportunity and so many students achieving success in their AP courses.
Well, I'll tell you, I just am so impressed with how our students do and the rigor that our teachers offer our students. And as you know, Mr. Hatter, we offer extracurricular activities in terms of athletics and leadership clubs. And we are always focusing on teaching the whole child, and athletics is very, very important to our students. This year we've had our students actually involved in going to sectionals and to states, And we're so impressed with our high school varsity basketball team, our indoor track team, our gymnastics program. We have a young lady going and doing sectionals as a finalist on Long Island. So we know that these kinds of activities are extremely important to our children. And as we take a look at our extracurricular activities, we see that there are so many things that our children are involved in, not only in sports, but also in leadership clubs. We have numerous things that our children are involved in. In fact, I swear that they are here all the time. One of the things that I think is very important that our students do is the community service that they do within our local region of Eastchester, our county, and of course we are also involved in a number of very important initiatives abroad. And we believe that this really brings out the full character of each individual child. So Mr. Hatter, we all know about the allowable tax levy cap, and we in the school district know how it affects last year, this year, and for the future, the kinds of programs that we're trying to offer our children. Could you give us a little bit of a summary of what the allowable tax levy cap does in terms of the impact of our school programs on our students in the budget?
Absolutely. At a previous board meeting, I presented a slide, and this slide is up for the viewing public, of the various programs that go into our budget, and the programs that we must consider in developing a budget, and the programs that you referenced in the opening of this program. The instructional program is our primary concern. It's our primary focus. It's ensuring that we're offering students the courses that they are requesting to put them in a position to be competitive on the college and career level. But there are also some other considerations that we must be mindful of. We also would like to offer students, as you indicated, one of the beauties of Eastchester is educating the whole child and looking at the various programs that we offer our students, and they're in the forms of the arts, co-curricular clubs, athletics, while addressing the support piece as well. And we want to ensure that our students not only are challenging themselves, but that they're receiving the support needed to meet our expectations. However, there are some other non-instructional components that we must also consider in developing a budget. There's the infrastructure. While students don't directly benefit from the bandwidth within a district or the switches and other systems or servers, that's still required for our instructional program. We also have to be mindful of class size. That's something that we'll discuss later on in the program, but class size is also something that the district is mindful of in developing a budget, and the mandates, state and federal mandate. And I know, Dr. Terranova, you've advocated since I've known you for mandate relief and responsible mandate implementation. But it's something that we're burdened with because we have not seen the mandate relief. In fact, we've seen mandates grow in recent years, and the district is left paying for these, but yet trying to do so within the constraints of a tax levy limit.
So what are the challenges that we're facing this year for next year?
The challenges that we're facing really stem from our budgetary constraints, specifically the tax levy limit. And that's very prohibitive. To simply roll over our programs and continue with business as usual, if you would, is not something that we can feasibly do because we would exceed the maximum allowable tax levy limit. So the problems stem from our budgetary constraints, and it's not unique to Eastchester. This is something that districts across New York State are experiencing. But we also have mandates. There are hundreds of mandates, and our state education department regulates so many aspects of the schooling experience, and yet many of these mandates come without any funding, and it's left to the local level to determine funding. We also have depleting revenue streams. State aid has declined over recent years, but at the same time our enrollment is increasing.
Right.
And we need to welcome those students into our district, and we need to provide programs for those students just the same as the students who are already in the district, yet we're doing so with fewer resources.
Well, let's take a look at the 13-14 key budget information issues that we're facing. The maximum allowable tax levy limit is 3.74%. It's no longer the 2% for most school districts because of the increase in the pension costs. So for Eastchester, it's 3.74%. This means that our district must reduce spending for next year by $684,048 for the 13-14 school year. So here are the steps that we've already taken to reduce our spending. Over the past 4 years, we have reduced spending by almost a little over $1 million, actually. I was going to say almost $1 million, but it's really been about $1.2 million. And that includes the reduction of 60 certificated and non-instructional positions. I'd like to ask Mr. Hatter now to review our budgets as he did for our Board of Education recently. And let's begin with our elementary budget. Mr. Hatter?
Absolutely. The elementary school budgets consist of the budgets for the Ann Hutchinson, Greenvale, and Waverly schools. You'll notice that the increase in the total budget from the 2012-13 school year to the 2013-14 school year is a result of an increase in salaries and benefits, and that is a result of contractual increases. In the other lines, equipment, contractual, textbooks, library books and software, instructional materials, any increase from 12-13 to 2013-14 is offset by an equal decrease in another line. At the middle school level, you'll notice that there once again is an increase in the staffing and benefits line from one year to the next, and that is a result of contractual increases. However, all other lines at the middle school level remains flat. At the high school level, once again, you'll observe a contractual increase due to staffing for staffing and benefits. However, the only other change is a $1,500 increase in contractual, but that's offset by a $1,500 decrease in the instructional materials. So with the exception of staffing and benefits, the remainder of the budget remains flat from one year to the next.
And as we take a look at staffing for next year, that's always a challenge to provide the best certificated and non-instructional staff that we can for the increase in our enrollment. And again, it is a challenge for next year. So we are looking at proposed sections in Waverly of going from 21 sections down to 20 because the first grade is moving on. So the kindergarten coming up has a smaller class size. And we are currently also doing registration for kindergarten for September. In Ann Hutchinson School, we're looking at going from 24 sections to 23. Greenvale from 20 sections to 19, for a total of 65 sections this year, going down next year to 62. So we will be reducing our numbers of staff members at the elementary level by 3 full-time teachers. Mr. Hatter, could you address the class size issue that we're facing at the elementary level?
Of course. At Waverly, we're projecting 23 students per class. And again, kindergarten enrollment is something that we monitor daily. As of taping today, our enrollment numbers are somewhat down from the previous year, but it's not a significant decline. For first grade, we're projecting class sizes averaging 22.6 students. And at Ann Hutchinson, grades 2 through 5, class sizes are ranging from 23.8 to 25 students. At Greenvale, averages are going from 22.3 to 25.3 students per class. Now, these numbers are generally 1 or 2 students in some instances. These numbers are 1 or 2 students higher than we've grown accustomed to in this district. However, I and our administration, we're all confident that we have a very talented teaching staff who will be able to meet the needs of our students, given the 1 or 2 additional students in the classroom.
So, Mr. Hatter, let's take a look at our proposed reductions that we have to date. We are looking at 3 elementary class sections that we will reduce at the elementary school, and that totals $281,000. And then we are also looking at reducing our afternoon busing by 2 buses, and only 2 buses, for a total of $110,000. And some of you in our audience might recall that last year, the State Education Department did pass a regulation that allowed us, some mandate relief, that allowed us to reduce our busing as per the number of students that would ride the afternoon buses. However, each district had to do a survey, which we have done over the last 6 to 12 months. The Transportation Department and Mrs. Mary Ellen Melnick's office did do that survey and found that we could reduce 2 buses and still have plenty of busing for our afternoon middle school and high school students. So now we are facing, over the next 6 weeks, a number of other reductions that we will have to make to total $285,048. So let's take a look at what our next steps will be. The district administration and our Board of Education will continue to meet between now, the beginning of March, and the middle of April to ascertain what further reductions we will make to the budget in that $285,000 range. We will continue to meet twice a month to do that. We will continue to evaluate staffing and our program needs. We will also be exploring additional cost-saving measures. And we will work towards our goal of delivering a high-quality education experience to all of our students in the most efficient but effective and high-quality way possible, given the constraints of a tax levy allowable cap. So just as a reminder to all of our taxpayers and those of you watching today, our budget vote will be on Tuesday, the 3rd week of May, May 21st, 2013. Our times for voting are 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. And this year, the location for the voting will be changed to the Eastchester High School gym rather than the middle school gym because of the construction we have going on at our middle school. So once again, the location for voting will be at the Eastchester High School gym. And those of you that live on Garth Road, you will vote at the Garth Road Community Center. Thanks for joining us today. And as always, please feel free to contact my office or anyone in our central office departments to answer any of the questions you may have regarding our 2013-2014 budget. Thank you, and see you next time.